Hello everyone, welcome to Simmer Sunday Week 2. Now, this week, we're gonna be doing some stories. I am Jim Fisher. Still thinking of a name. Jim. I am Jim Yom. And this is Simmer Sunday. Welcome everybody. Today, we are going to be talking about lots of things around the world, and some of it is negative, some of it is positive, hopefully. So let's just
jump into it.
Paris driver jailed from taxi scam against Thai terrorists. So let's go ahead and read into this. This is from BBC News. This is our source citing our sources so we don't get a copyright strike. The tourist's video of their argument with him went viral on YouTube. A ride from Roissy Charles de Gaulle Airport in central Paris usually costs $45 to €55. Court has jailed a fake taxi driver for 8 months, demanding that a Thai couple pay €247 for a trip to the airport. And normally, going to the airport, it costs $45 to $55 from Paris. So basically, this random dude, he was like, maybe I can get some extra cash olas if I scam these people into riding with me. So, a couple, you're just out with your boyfriend, and then you get into a quote-unquote Uber or taxi, expecting that you go back to wherever you came from. So then you have to take a ride to the airport so you can go home. And this dude, it normally costs $45 to $55. Hopefully this couple knows that. And basically, this taxi driver demands that a Thai couple from Thai, I don't know, pay €247. So in American dollars, in the United States, that's $279.86. That is United States dollar, and the normal cost is $50 for the 45, and euros is $50, so basically $51. So it's relatively expensive in Paris, but $247, that's still pretty expensive even in US dollars. So yeah, that's our first story. Tube junk food advert banned announced by London mayor. So basically, advert ban. A ban on junk food advertising across London's entire public transport network will be introduced next year. So in 2019, McDonald's, candy, all that junk food, what is classified as junk food. So basically, candies, sodas, burgers, cakes, chips, that type of thing is what is considered junk food. And when you are going to the train, the airport, anything, you will not see any advertisement for that. So for example, I personally, as you might know, live in Denver. Here we have junk food ads absolutely everywhere. We have McDonald's everywhere, we have Starbucks everywhere. We have all that unhealthy stuff absolutely everywhere because we are Denver. But basically, we especially have it in our airport. We have all types of ads. We even have a McDonald's in our airport. That is probably the best way to be able to not have to stop, like wake up super early and stop by a McDonald's to get breakfast or whatever. So we have all types of junk food restaurants in our airport. So if you were to go to any U.S. airport, for example, we are in London, you wouldn't see any ads for Burger King, McDonald's, all those basic food chains, candies, cake factories, or anything. You wouldn't see that in London's transportation. underground, overground buses, and bus shelters. This was from BBC News. Alright, this is a Trump story, okay? It's from US News. Trump rails against court immigrants basically, call in the troops. Migrants, I don't know, migrants. President Trump used a Thanksgiving Day call to troops deployed overseas and pat himself on the back for air grievances around the courts, trade, and migrants heading to the U.S.-Mexico border. So basically, he still wants to build a wall. He sees Mexicans as a threat, even though maybe some of them are violent, just like in the U.S. Some people are violent. Again, that is just the world we live in. And I've been to Texas. Okay, I know you're probably tired of hearing this, but it is right next to Mexico. And when I went to San Antonio, that is more, it's not exactly close, but it's not exactly far. It's kind of in between Mexico. And I met a lot of Mexicans there. They were super nice. I loved them. I loved it, San Antonio. It was just beautiful there. And he just wants to build a wall, which I still disagree with. So this was published on November 22nd, 2018. Alright, President Trump used a Thanksgiving Day call to troops deployed overseas and pat himself on the back, and air grievances about courts, trade, and migrants heading to the U.S.-Mexico border. So we're sending troops over there so people don't come into our country, even though they might need it. Trump's call, made from his Oakland private Mar-a-Lago club, struck an unusually politician tone as he spoke to the members with all 5 branches of the military and wished them happy holidays. It's a disgrace, Trump said of the judges who have blocked his attempts to overhaul U.S. immigration law, as he linked his efforts to a secure border with military missions overseas. Trump later threatened to close the U.S. border with Mexico for an undisclosed period of time if his administration determines Mexico has lost control on his side. Basically, this dude, on Thanksgiving Day, he made a phone call to troops wishing them happy holidays. Okay, great. That sounds like a pretty nice thing, right? But then, he also says, these judges are lazy, they're not doing their job. Donald Trump's one to talk. And, he just kind of, explains how Mexico is just a threat, and he threatens to close the border, even though America is the land of opportunity, I think it's called, by some people, and these people just want jobs, they want good lives for their families, and he's just threatening to close that border. And I personally, my opinion on it is, we should let certain people in the border, but maybe security should be, kind of heavy, kind of check to see if they have any threatening weapons or anything, because we don't need any more violence here in the States. Alright, this is about the oil industry. You might be thinking, oil is bad for the environment, but oil prices are likely headed higher despite recent plunge, analysts say. So basically, a lot of people may be against this, and maybe just kind of are very edgy about it, and now oil is more up there, it's on the rise. This is also by US News, and this was published November 23rd, 2018 at 6 a.m. I don't think you need to know the time, but it won't hurt. Okay, so plummeting oil prices this week prompted fretting about supply guilt, but I don't know. But analysts project that the rising demand and an impending supply shortage could spur a bounce back that will send prices higher in the coming weeks and months. Benchmark Brent crude oil dropped nearly $62 a barrel, down to nearly $86 last month and the lowest price since spring, when oil prices were still recovering from the $45 per barrel knitter struck in 2017. While we expect these prices to eventually recover, we are continuing to expect high price volatility until the evidence the oil marketing fundamentals are improving, requiring a decline from OPEC production and signs that demanding growth is resilient. You had a bunch of people responding to the Iran outage, and that's just overwhelming us. Steve Hopkins, manager and director of counseling firm from Princeton Energy Advisors, recently told U.S. News. Some of it was bad timing, some of it was response to the sanctions, and some of it was that Trump administration chickened out and gave a bunch of Iran's best customers waivers. The warning signs are there. The industry isn't finding enough oil. The problem is the recent rate of commercial volumes found given little confidence and there will be enough new discoveries to fill the gap. Right, so summary of the stuff that I personally didn't read out loud to you. Basically, as we've kind of seen it coming, we are running out of oil. Digging down is just damaging the environment. We might find more oil, but it's just damaging it and just lowering that oil. Basically, it relatively low in 2017, and it's still kind of recovering, but it's also on the rise, seeing as the shortage of oil, and President Trump, he had something to do with it, but he just was like, no thank you, and he and his whole group of workers just were like, see ya, we're not doing this. So I think they were maybe going to help fund it, and they also, we weren't going to help Iran with their oil shortage, but President Trump decided, whatever, I'm the president, let's go help them. So, yeah, our oil industry isn't doing too well, and we're just running out of stuff, and we're damaging the environment while we're doing it. I'm Christy Hunt, and I'm with weather. Alrighty, we are going to be doing the weather in Los Angeles, California. Hopefully you get some rain to help out those firefighters. I'm hearing that's starting to die out, but still, it'll be a big help if you got some rain, which it kind of looks like you will on Thursday, but we'll get to that. So, on Sunday, as you are seeing this, it is going to be 73 degrees, with 2 mile per hour winds. Your high is going to be 73 degrees, and your low is going to be 52 degrees. On Monday is going to be 75 degrees, 2 mile per hour winds, and 51 as your low. Tuesday is going to be 3 mile per hour winds, high 72, low 54. Your precipitation is going to be 20%, wind 4 mile per hours, 4 mile per hour, 68 as your high, 53 as your low, 65. It is going to be 65 on Thursday. You're going to have showers, 50% chance of precipitation, wind 9 miles per hour, so you might get some cool cloud cover in there, high 65, low 50, and Friday, as you are seeing this, at the end of the week, your end is going to be 10% of precipitation, so very low. Wind 6 mile per hour, 6 mile per hour winds, high 64, low 49. Next we have Texas, where I wish I was from. Houston, Texas. On Sunday, as you are seeing this, your high is going to be 70, your low is going to be 45, your precipitation is going to be 20, and your wind is going to be 14. Monday is going to be 57 as your high, 38 as your low, wind 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, it is going to be 60 degrees with a high of 60 degrees, which is your high, and low is 45, wind 4 miles per hour, 69 is going to be your high, 59 is going to be your low, precipitation is 10%, and wind is 7 miles per hour, not poor. Thursday is going to be 72 for your high, 61 as your low, precipitation 10%, and wind 9 miles per hour. And it is on Friday to end your week. You're going to have 71%, wind 71 as your high, 59 as your low, wind 10 miles per hour, precipitation 40%. Right, Florida, last time you weren't getting into the winter, but now you might be, maybe, just maybe, this week. In Miami, Florida, your high is going to be 83, your low is going to be 70, precipitation 50%, wind 10 miles per hour. Monday is 85 for your high, low is 70, precipitation 10%, and wind 10 miles per hour. Ooh, you're gonna have some thunderstorms on Tuesday. High 79, low 61, precipitation 80, so you have an 80% chance of thunderstorms, and wind is 8. Your high is 74, your low is 63, 10% precipitation, wind 12 miles per hour. 76 is your high, 66 is your low, precipitation is 30%, not humidity, we're not doing humidity. Wind is 14 miles per hour, and to end off your week, 79 with a high of 72. Wait, no. So, precipitation. So high of 79, low 72, precipitation 10, wind 15 miles per hour. Last but certainly not least, New York. Oh, you New Yorkers, you are very nice people, I hear, and you definitely get your exercise, seeing as you definitely cannot walk. You guys are starting to get into winter. Good for you. So Sunday, as you are seeing this, 55 degrees for your high, low 44, precipitation 10%, wind 9 miles per hour. Monday, you're gonna have some rain, 90% of precipitation. Awesome sauce. Wind is 13 miles per hour, 53 as your high, low 38. Tuesday, Tuesday is high 44, low of 33, wind 12 miles per hour. Wednesday. Oh, did I say Wednesday for Tuesday? I meant Tuesday, if I did. 42 for Wednesday is your high, 35 is your low, wind 11 miles per hour. 46, it is going to be 46 for your Thursday, as your high, and 46 as your high, and 36 as your low, 12 miles per hour winds. And to end off your week, you're going to have 46 as your high, 34 as your low, 10% of precipitation, and 6 mile per hour winds. Alright, we're going to do some snappity snip sports. We are going to do Boise State first, y'all. Boise State. Very first story, where you're going to do 2 stories. This is going to be a shorter segment than last week's. I mean, not last week, the week before, I think. I don't know. I messed up. It's gonna be shorter because I did a little too much on politics. I did way too much. So, basically, Boise State, let's go. Right, a challenge every week. Boise State's football special teams, source of frustration. When it comes to Boise State special teams, the lowlights outnumber the highlights. The latest came last Friday when the Broncos, that's the Broncos, had a field goal blocked at New Mexico, allowed in the Lobos' first punt return to touchdown since 2002 on an 86-yard Marcus Hayes score. Obviously, the punt return was disappointing. The returner of New Mexico was advertised. We emphasized it and still didn't accomplish our goal of actually tackling him, Harsin said Monday. So basically, Boise State is dead last, the 129th overall in the FBS in net punting, to 29.6-yard punt, thanks to Hayes' return. So basically, this dude, he is like a super, super talented guy that went against the Broncos, my home state. And he just, He's like, nah. So Hayes was like, no, you're not winning. So Boise State, they're kind of like not doing so hot. And this Hayes thing did not make anything much different. This was from Idaho Statesman, so thank you, Idaho Statesman. You're not sponsoring this video, but hopefully you don't get an ad on this video, so I don't monetize my videos, so I don't know why you would, but still. The Advocate is where we're getting this. Texas A&M versus LSU. Who you got? Advocate experts make their picks. Predict score. LSU 24, Texas A&M 16. Texas A&M! No, that is totally not going to be their thing. A&M has the best rush defense in the SEC, but the Aggies rank 104th in the nationally in pass defense. Mississippi State's Nick Fitzgerald, who threw 4 interceptions against LSU, had 241 passing yards and 2 Ds in the win over A&M in the next week. LSU wide receiver Justin Jefferson has become one of the more explosive receivers in the SEC. LSU 20, Texas A&M 17. No. LSU 24, Texas A&M 19. These are just some prediction scores. And those are the prediction scores. So here we go. LSU, this is the LSU 20, Texas A&M 17. LSU must do 2 things to win. Throw the ball, take advantage of Texas A&M leaky secondary, and force Kellen Mond into a couple of turnovers. Still not convinced LSU's offense on the tax of outscoring Texas A&M on the road, but with a short field or two. LSU 24, Texas A&M 19. This is Sheldon Mickles. A&M has allowed more than 125 rushing yards once this season. That was Mississippi State, which managed 143 yards, even though Alabama struggled, needing 28 carries to pick up 109 yards. Conventional wisdom says A&M can slow down LSU, but conventional wisdom doesn't win games. Hard men up front do. Tigers win if they rush for 150. So basically, they're saying Texas A&M is going down, but I'm saying LSU is going down. You're gonna get smashed, okay, y'all? You're gonna get destroyed. Thank you for watching this Simmer Sunday. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, updates from Good Luck Simmer channel. Good Luck Simmer's channel. Basically, she's going to be uploading not Rags to Riches. Rags to Riches is cancelled. Repeat, Rags to Riches is cancelled. Seasons is not cancelled. It will just be on a very short break. Gets Famous is still going to go on. As you probably saw on Friday, she uploaded the first Get Famous, and that will still continue until we get to the very last star of fame. And probably a little bit more. And then, there's a Christmas-themed Sim series coming out, very soon. And hopefully you enjoy that. So, that is all the updates we have in front of me for Good Luck Simmer. I am Jim, and I hope to see you in the next Simmer Sunday. Goodbye.